Strange New Worlds Season 3 may have been delayed getting to our screens because of reshoots demanded by Paramount because the shows were too woke. Welcome to the Tachyon Pulse podcast, part of the scitrek family.
Our Tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
You'll know I hate the word woke if you're a regular viewer of my videos, but that seemed to be what the problem is and why we are getting a little bit of a delay with Strange New Worlds Season 3. Now, I had heard that there were some reshoots done, but I didn't actually know why. I am now being told by the sources close to Paramount that actually it was done because of the political climate. Now, the head of the FCC, the Federal Communication Commission, a couple of days ago actually did say that companies and deals like the Paramount Skydance takeover could be cancelled or blocked if those companies don't follow DEI principles and don't drop those principles. Now, whether you agree with DEI or not, the FCC has nothing to do with that in theory, and really for me that's an overstretch of power, but it does show that there is pressure being put on companies by the government to follow these ideologies. Now, that pressure is very obvious, but there will be stuff going on behind closed doors as well, where Skydance and Paramount will be being told what is acceptable and what isn't, and what could prevent this deal being allowed to go through. It seems that that is what has happened, and when Paramount has then looked at what was produced for Season 3 of Strange New Worlds, they just considered it to be a little bit too woke for the current political climate. Now, reshoots were ordered, and those have been done, but it has caused a delay to Season 3. Now, Season 3 was actually officially wrapped, over a year ago now. Since Strange New Worlds Season 3 was wrapped, they've actually done all of the filming for the first season of Academy and started Season 4 filming of Strange New Worlds. So a long time has gone by. Now, post-production for a show with this much CGI, etc., is normally about 12 months. It's only been just over that. So we're not really sort of panicking too much. But normally these shows do come out in April, roughly. And we really should have had some sort of announcement by now of when it was going to get released, if they knew exactly. But with streaming, that's not really a massive concern either, because they do tend to announce literally like just before it comes out. So literally like 2 weeks before we may get a trailer and a proper announcement. I just really wanted to share this because a lot of people have pointed fingers at Star Trek and said, look, it is just too damn woke. It is too liberal, it's too whatever. I would argue Star Trek's always been woke. I hate that word. But it always has been. It's always looked at social commentary. It's always tried to champion causes and always fought against racism, sexism, transphobia, gay phobia, whatever. That's not the right word, is it? But you know what I mean. It's always tried to be on the right side for them of that argument. I would say the difference between Trek before and Trek now is that when they coped with these and fought against these things in the past, the episodes were written better. They're not written as well now, and so when they maybe do champion these causes, it sticks out like a sore thumb, and it's just not done well. So, yeah, it has turned off a few people. I'd love to know, guys, at this point, get into the comments, what do you think about politics and the government really putting pressure like this on a studio to produce television that they would prefer? Whether you agree with the changes that are made, and whether, as I say, whether you agree with DEI or not, do you think it is right actually for the government to put pressure on a studio like this and make them obviously change their programming and change their policies on hiring, etc. I actually always thought that the Republicans were against things like that, that was actually big government, and they want little government and people to do what they want and what they think is right, and companies to behave how they want and how they think. This is actually something that could seriously harm Paramount and Skydance's companies, and again, that was something I thought that they were against. It seems confusing to me, but get into the comments and tell me what you think. Is it worth it if they do scrap things like DEI, they do make the shows a little less woke? Is that what government is for? Or actually, is this government kind of hypocritical and they only really agree with free speech when it's their free speech? Get into the comments, tell me what you think. On Strange New Worlds Season 3, I have had conversations with somebody that has seen lots of bits, and again, I don't know details about what reshoots were done. I'm told they were relatively minor, but they were sort of just to change the tone slightly of certain events that were considered to be maybe a little bit politically motivated, let's say. And that those were really done to take the wind out of the sails of anybody that would point at this and scream woke. There is a concerted effort really to please sort of the government on that, and to sort of hopefully show willing to move in their direction to grease the wheels and get this actual merger through a little bit quicker on the FCC. Their threats of actually blocking this are very real, and there is a very real threat that the regulator might refuse this, not just because of things like this and DEI, but actually other issues with Trump and CBS, etc. So there is not goodwill from this government towards Paramount, CBS, and Skydance, I think, are desperately walking that tightrope to try and make sure that this deal does go through. I am also told, but they've already considered legal action, Skydance, and they are actually trying to figure out what their legal position would be if the FCC did refuse this deal on political grounds, i.e. DEI, etc. And I think they actually would have a case because it is an overreach of the FCC. But anyway, the reshoots, I'm being told, though, that, again, they were relatively minor, but they do change the actual story in a few ways. I actually don't have a major problem with reshoots. Reshoots are normal, but normally they're not because of actually changing major storylines for political reasons. Normally it's tweaking little things here and there. When they get into the edit, something doesn't quite click, so, you know, they do a quick reshoot just to edit it. Going into season 4 and filming season 4, obviously these reshoots have been relatively easy because they were gearing up for that anyway. So they were able just to get in a little bit earlier, do those reshoots, and then crack on with season 4. Rumours have persisted that actually the cost of that has come out of the budget for season 4, but those aren't true. There are budgets set up for this, and it won't affect season 4 in any way. So, guys, get into the comments and tell me what you think. Actually, Strange New Worlds Season 3, from what we've seen so far, other than the big hair, are you excited? The Vulcan episode in particular, fills me with a dread. I think it's going to be awful, because Strange New Worlds is frustrating for me. There's a brilliant episode, then a terrible episode, but the characters are so good, I forgive it. The Vulcan and what I've seen from that episode, it just makes me cringe. But guys, what do you think? How excited about Season 3 are you? Get into the comments. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can actually join the channel and see videos up to 24 hours before everybody else. Go check that out. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.